Eric's Drink whiskey. I love bourbon. Made no secret about that. I think we both love bourbon. But what I love more than bourbon is Scotch. And Eric has picked a good one for us here. This is one that he jumped, a label that he jumped on over this past year, and has come to enjoy. So here for a little show and tell, Eric's going to tell us about this Glen Dronach Portwood.
Yep. So in the grand scheme of Scotch drinkers, you're either a Macallan drinker or you're a peat head. In the parlance of just regular Scotch people. Macallan's usually known for all their sherried whiskeys, and they're kind of the gold standard of it. And there's plenty of better Scotches, in my humble opinion, out there for less money. Glen Dronach is a distillery that I've discovered, Brown-Forman property, by the way. They have most of their whiskeys are exclusively aged in sherry. They're not second fill, first fill. You know, they're only have been aged in a sherry barrel. So they have natural color, and they're a little more expensive. But because I took a gamble and tried one, I was so impressed by the finishing that they did, and that it just didn't taste like. Because the problem with Scotch is it's a low ceiling and a low floor. Low ceiling, high floor. There's not a lot of variations with it being really, 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 really good. Like, we've had Scotches that most of them are hovering around kind of the bad Scotches were good. Like the lower end Scotches were really good.
Yeah.
So you don't get a lot of variations. This Glen Dronach breaks the mold with that. So you can get you a Highland single malt Scotch that doesn't just taste like malted barley.
Okay.
It's got some unique flavors with it. I've become a little bit of a fanboy with Glen Dronach over the past year and a half or so, and this was a new one that came out relatively within the past year. It's port finished. It was secondary done in port and first in a sherry barrel, and it's about 46% alcohol, non-age stated. Running you about $90. It's a little pricey, but I will personally endorse Glen Dronach. They are worth the money.
You heard it here first.
All right. So
I know nothing about this other than what you just said, so I'm extremely excited.
yes, big burst, big burst of port. Like a Jello with cream cheese with it.
I'm getting like chocolate, like shitty chocolate covered cherry chocolate.
Yeah.
The red fruit, like cherry, almost on its way to strawberry.
Those edible arrangements that have been sitting in the fridge too long. Like if you got a chocolate covered strawberry that had been sitting there too long, and so it started to like just get really sugary.
That smells incredible. The color on this is absolutely beautiful too. All right, let's do it.
Yeah. More port than anything. Has that creamy barley taste. Has a bite for 46%. It's not thin. It's like it's between thick and thin. It's not, it has decent viscosity with it.
It's got a lot of the same notes on the palate that it did on the nose. What you get, you've got that nice barley, that granola, kind of cooked granola-y oaty.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, I boil it down to being as simple as raisins.
Mm-hmm.
there's a nice kind of just faint orange, like something that had just the least amount of maybe some orange zest in it. But then yeah, you've got that creamy kind of barleyiness from it being a younger whiskey. The nice round fruitiness of the port and the fact that it's sherry matured.
Right.
And I think both the maturation and the finish lend it to having a nice, just kind of dry finish.
It's not overly sweet.
It's not overly sweet. No, this is damn good Scotch.
Yeah, it's all truth and candor. I personally think that its price point is a little too high. I would feel comfortable with this at like $75.
Yeah.
But I like Glen Dronach, so I bought the bottle.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one of those. It's like, it's not like a price per thing. I support the distillery. I wanted to try it, so I like it. I really do.
I maybe would want
one to have
an age statement at that price point, even if it's a young one, like 10, 12 years.
So
but I'm not mad at it. I'd pay that money for it.
Their weirder finishes aren't age stated.
Yeah.
So they've got a 12, a 15, and an 18, and a 21.
Ooh.
I have a Glen Dronach peated that I found randomly. And I have this. The Glen Dronach peated was $65.
Huh.
This was 80 or 90.
Well, I mean, and the other thing I keep forgetting until I go to buy Scotch is, we're like 4 or 5 years ago, you go get a bottle of the one that sticks with me the most is the Balvenie 14-year-old Caribbean cask.
Yep.
You go get one of those for $70.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're pushing 80, 85. So just kind of the global economy, the Scotch is more expensive.
And the behind times of actually people buying Scotch.
That's true. I mean, like I bought my Springbank 10 for, I guarantee it wasn't $80, and now it's close to $100.
I bought Glen Dronach Allardyce, the 18-year, at a mom and pop place back home, where I know they're not buying that type of Scotch. I bought it for $140. Total Wine has it for $210.
Yeah. So $80 for this? Yeah. When you take all that into account, that's fair. I get stuck in the mindset of, oh well, I only paid for this, but it's a bottle I've had for 5-6 years, and it doesn't factor in all that other stuff.
Every Scotch distillery has their entry-level Scotch that is usually considered their best Scotch. It's usually 10 years old. That's kind of like the sweet spot for Scotch.
Yeah.
And it's $50-$60 normally.
Yeah.
So we always put that on a spectrum when it comes to, should we just buy that 10-year or however, it's it's whatever. But no, Glen Dronach typically has always been higher priced, and personally, it's they're one of the few distilleries that they're like, we're damn good Scotch, so you need to pay a damn good price for us.
That's fair. Respect.
I give them that.
Because it is damn good Scotch. That's $80 Scotch. That's all there is to it. Now maybe you put it into a decanter or whatever, and cover up the fact there's not an age statement. Like you're not going to be able to flex that hard. Like if you're entertaining somebody who's like, oh, I've got this good Scotch,
right?
To bring out. Here's this non-age stated bottle, especially if they're halfway into Scotch and they're one of those assholes that think that everything has to have an age statement, but it's impressive. It's really good.
Yeah.
Really, it's up there among the top 10 Scotches I've had.
Okay, that's strong statements.
I don't know. I made that up. It's among the better Scotches I've had.
Still, strong statement.
Thank you for bringing this to the table. I've greatly enjoyed it.
You're welcome. Until next time.
Cheers.